Donk is a low skill, Vitality's got problems. FaZe clan is doing it again, and Stage 3 of Budapest Major recap. Hello there friends, this is CS2 News Hub. Without further ado, let's get straight to it. And we shall start today's episode with a pretty loud story, ZywOo's comments on why Vitality started collapsing in the second half of the year. According to the team's Opera, in the second season they began playing noticeably worse on an individual level. And on top of that, they started tilting and getting frustrated with each other way more often. Of course, everyone on the team understood that this wasn't the direction they wanted to go at all. But now that they've arrived here, they feel that they want to win 2 majors in a row, and most importantly, they feel like they are finally on the right path again, and that they actually have a chance to pull it off. To be fair, my friends, Vitality looked pretty solid in Stage 3, besides that opening match. But what happens next in the playoffs is a whole different story. There is no room for mistakes anymore. What do you think? Can Vitality make it? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Speaking of Vitality, we have to mention Ropz. In a recent interview, he said that he's currently trying to regain his peak form, which dipped over the last few tournaments. He also said that the team deliberately took a short break to rebuild confidence and make sure they arrived at the major in top shape, and according to him, it helped. Right now, Ropz feels like he's playing at about 90% of his potential, while the team as a whole is sitting around 80%. He noted that the start of the tournament wasn't ideal, but they're improving, so it's very possible that in the playoffs, just a few days from now, we will see Vitality in their peak form. Ropz also shared which opponents make him slightly uneasy. Obviously, it's Fury at first. He considers them the main favorites of the major. And then Ropz mentioned Donk, who in his words is simply phenomenal, and quote-unquote feels like he's about to break another record. Ropz placed himself and Vitality right behind Furia, so if Vitality truly reach 100% of their full power, we might get a very spicy final. Speaking of the GOAT, unlike Ropz, Donk's teammates don't really think that he's that strong. At least that's what Donk himself said. According to him, sometimes he really wants to get the AWP and start playing with it, but usually he just gets told, bro, you're low skill, go play with the M4. And honestly, they're kinda right. Donk is way better with rifles than with snipers. And besides, I mean, Spirit already have a real AWP and a pretty damn strong one. Many people still consider Shiro one of the best snipers in the world. Still, despite all that, Donk is the best player on the team, and having a second AWP sometimes wouldn't hurt. You know, like Falcons or NAVI sometimes do, and many other teams as well. And yes, on Dust 2, Donk is allowed to pick up the AWP sometimes. Their coach Holy already talked about that. But the thing is, Spirit don't really play Dust that frequently, and Donk wants the big green on every map. And yeah guys, now when you cry that your teammates refuse to drop you an AWP when you ask for it, just imagine that you're like Donk, like you're just too good to be playing with it, you know? Alright, my friends, it's finally time to wrap up Stage 3 of the Budapest Major and the last couple of days as well. The 2-2 teams were on the chopping block. Falcons vs G2, NAVI vs Bait, and FaZe vs Passion UA. And before the matches even started, Pimp decided to go with a pretty spicy line. He said that if Falcons, NAVI or FaZe don't make it to the playoffs, roster changes in these teams will be happening early next year. If G2 lose, roster changes might happen early next year, but not guaranteed. Thanks, Captain Obvious, or as they say now, no shit, Sherlock. Anyways, let's get on to the games and see what happened. Let's start with the first match of the day, NAVI vs Bait, and the first map, Ancient, is Bait's pick. Honestly, it went completely off script for the team. NAVI took the half 8-4, and then they just didn't give up a single round, so map 1 went to NAVI. Although Train was actually way more interesting. Super close game. NAVI stars were pulling out big rounds, but at 8-10, something happened that might have changed the match literally. You see, Bait's captain called a timeout, but he was muted because of his mic. turns out, at this major, if your mic is lifted up, it's basically off. It doesn't work. And Alex just lifted it before the pause and started talking into thin air. During this timeout, he basically said nothing because his mic was pointed at the ceiling. So NPL just talked through most of the pause, and no one couldn't understand why Alex was so silent. And when the pause was almost done, they just looked at Alex and saw that his mic was up, and they reminded him of it. Alex came back, but it was too late. So the tactical pause was just useless, I guess. The teams then went to OTs, but Bait unfortunately couldn't keep up. NAVI closed the map comfortably. They proceeded to the playoffs while Bait were eliminated. It was a great run for the guys, but unfortunately they have to level up their game, I guess. Next match was FaZe vs Passion UA, and this was a memorable one, mostly because Passion UA almost got penalized, thanks to Valve's ancient 2021 rulebook. You see, Kvem accidentally almost high-fived his coach, which, if you didn't know, is strictly forbidden outside timeouts. Luckily, the coach reacted fast and simply pulled back, so they avoided the penalty. Sadly, it didn't help the scoreboard. FaZe Clan won both maps 13-11, and Jacob was the MVP with 1.31. After the match, karrigan talked about the team's mindset. For him, the major playoffs always feel like a completely different tournament. Some teams dream of winning majors, while FaZe didn't even have that goal coming in. They just came to go somewhere. This is basically what he said. But now that they're in the playoffs, the goal appeared. Karrigan said it's 3 games left and they will take it step by step. But my friends, if you think that FaZe Clan is unstoppable, well, I guess you should think again. You see, there's a foolproof strat to beat karrigan. Top teams need to pull off 3 ninja defuses in a row to win a map. It's just that easy. Do that and you might actually beat FaZe. If any playoff teams are watching this video, just put this in your strat book. Otherwise, you've got no chance. Now, my friends, we will finish off with the juiciest match of the day. Falcons vs G2. What a match, I should say. So, Ancient Map 1 started with a Niko pistol round ace. Perfect way to set the tone. Falcons looked energized and started collecting rounds, but the game quickly turned into a back and forth. Falcons only managed to build a streak near the end of the half. In the second half, it was even worse for the Falcons. G2 came in fully prepared, even though Ancient is Falcons' best map. So yeah, the Samurai took it. Next was Inferno, and it was the complete opposite. And I should say mostly thanks to MongolZ, who put up a 2.0 rating, 3.0 impact, and almost 11% round swing. He was just playing like crazy, and you don't need the analysis or the stats. Just look at these 2 insane smoke no-scopes. Yeah, so it all came down to Dust 2, which of course couldn't be just calm, you know? First, Falcons won 3 straight rounds, then G2 did. Then we also had the swings, so the first half ends with Falcons barely ahead, 7-5. Sides switched, and Falcons extended the lead to 9-5 after a very good pistol round. G2, though, launched their own comeback. They got 5 rounds straight, and Senpaias pulled off a crucial clutch, so it was suddenly 10-9 for G2. And this is when Falcons finally woke up. Round by round, they fought back. We even had a crazy strat. MongolZ and kyousuke both were wielding the AWP, and it basically worked. Although I have to say that kyousuke did better with the AWP when he wasn't trying to scope. So that double AWP strat ended up burying G2 on the decider, and you know, Falcons were very emotional. So the final score was 3-2, Falcons went to the playoffs and G2 were eliminated. Wow, it was very tense. After the game, emotions were all over the place. Hunter said he felt horrible, but he's genuinely happy for Niko, his cousin. Playing against him was brutal, both mechanically and mentally, but Hunter was happy that at least one of them made it to the playoffs. MongolZ kept it short. He thanked the fans, he said that the game was extremely emotional, but most importantly, he said this: Niko will win a major. He's a legend. He deserves it. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with MongolZ, but when will it happen? Like, in Budapest? I don't know, guys. What do you think? Anyways, now we have the playoffs set up. 7 teams from the top 10 made it to the playoffs, so basically the entire elite. Here are the matchups: Spirit versus Falcons, Vitality versus the MongolZ, Fury versus NAVI, and MongolZ versus FaZe. My friends, the real action starts now. Well, I mean, in a couple of days, you know, because we have the short break. I advise you to rejuice before the final stage of the Budapest Major. It's gonna be spicy. And for now, that's all for today, my friends. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button to follow our channel and drop by in the comments below. And yeah, don't forget to set up the pick'ems. Now, I'm not saying goodbye for a long time. See you soon.